All right, what's happening, guys? Today, joining me on the channel is one of Australia's hottest UFC prospects. He recently fought Danny Roberts at UFC Vegas 65 and scored his third first-round stoppage in a matter of less than a year. His name is Don Giacomo Della Maddalena, and he's expected to feature at UFC 284 in Perth on February 12th. Mate, we'll get into that, but first off, how are you? Thank you for joining me today, dude.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Yeah, no, I'm really
No,
good. Just relaxing
good.
and yeah, hoping to as you said, get into that UFC 284 card.
Yeah, fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. As I said, yeah, we'll dig into that, but it's been what near on 2 weeks since the last fight. You're back home in Perth. Are you still riding on a high from the last out?
Yeah, I am. I'm happy with the performance. But yeah, I'm excited to get back in there. It was a good year for me and keen to end this year, enjoy Chrissy New Year and then get into it, get another fight early on and keep the ball rolling.
100%, man. So you're taking a little bit of time over Christmas. You get stuck into food and all that, or are you going to be pretty strict over the holidays?
No, I'll get started. I'll enjoy Chrissy, I'll be training for sure. I took like a just having a week off now, and then yeah, I'll be back training next week, and I'll just train hard into Christmas. I'll train hard over Chrissy, take a couple of days, but yeah, I'll definitely be enjoying Chrissy. Enjoying. I'll be eating a lot over Chrissy as usual, and I feel like it's a perfect time. I got probably 6 weeks after Christmas to lose a bit of weight, get back
How
into
is the
fighting fit.
how is the cut down to 170 for you generally? You don't look like you put on a heap of weight in between fights.
No, honestly, it's a really easy cut. It's probably 2 weeks before the fight. I just cut calories back a bit, get pretty strict on what I eat. But before that 2 weeks, I'm pretty good. I train pretty hard, so I just eat up to that 2 weeks. I eat pretty clean, but yeah, I eat pretty much whatever I want,
Yeah,
really,
good.
to an extent, of course. But it's a pretty easy cut. Like even the last cut I had, like the day before weigh-in, was able to have big lunch, pretty big dinner, wake up and just drop the extra probably 2 or 3 kilos.
Yeah,
So
good to hear,
relatively
man.
easy.
Yeah. You're not starving yourself too much.
I know
Um,
too.
have you had a chance to rewatch the fight yet?
Yeah, I have watched it. I've watched it.
What did you make of it?
I thought it was cool. To be honest, it's what I wanted to do, and to be honest, it's what I expected to do. It's just a matter of going out there and making it happen when the pressure's on. But I feel like it was, yeah, though, I guess there's some things I could take away from it, but it was a quick fight. Most of the things I threw landed. I didn't get hit too much, though. But yeah, there's always things you can take away, and I'll definitely get be better next time.
How do you grade that performance overall on like an A to an F scale? Where does that one sit for you?
Oh, it's a hard. You know what? I was happy with it. I'll give it about a B plus. I think there was some things I could have done a little bit better and made it a little bit cleaner, but I was happy with it. I couldn't, to be honest, how could you not be happy with the performance? But the critic in me can always see small details that I can improve upon.
Man, I'd love to see what an A plus performance looks like. I'll tell you what, then, no.
Yeah.
Um,
Hopefully, yeah. To be honest, I don't think I'd ever give myself the A plus. I think there's always things that can be done better. But yeah, I'm
you,
happy with the
you
performance.
need to be able
That's
to
what I want.
strive for something, right?
Yeah, of course. If I ever do, like, if I ever hit that A plus performance, then I guess I may as well just retire then. Because that's what I'm looking for, the A plus performance. And if I get that, then I'm out.
Yeah, fair, man. Was there any extra satisfaction in sort of humbling someone a little bit after Danny was chatting it up a little bit in the pre-fight media day?
Nah, not really. I see how it is. And to be honest, they were like, I think yeah, they were trying to get me to sort of bite at him, and I think tried to get Danny to bite at something. So I think that was just what they wanted, but not really. Honestly, you can say whatever you want. Anything can be said. It's one of those sports where, yeah, anything can be said, and at the end of the day, you've just got to get in there. And the talking aside, it's down for action. So no hard feelings about what anyone says about me leading into a fight.
Yeah, I don't know. You can't really get too caught up in all that, I guess. Did you get a chance to
Nah.
speak to him after the fight at all?
Yeah, I spoke to him very briefly, but he's a good guy, Danny. Everyone I spoke to, Danny's been in the UFC for a long time, so like everyone in the organization of the UFC had seen a lot of Danny, and they had a lot of respect for him. And yeah, when I spoke to him, you can see why. He seemed like a real stand-up, nice guy. So no hard
Yeah,
feelings at all, and I wish him all the best for sure.
yeah, 100%, man. He's a proper veteran. He's been doing it for a little while now, huh?
Yeah, 100%. He's a good guy, and yeah. You got to give him respect. He's been in there for a very long time. He's fought all the who's who guys.
That's it. So, look, it's been a hell of a 12 months for you. Can you sort of sum up your UFC rookie year for me? Like, what were the highs, what were the lows, and did it live up to expectation for you?
Yeah, for sure. It's been awesome. I've loved every fight has been a high. I love the process. Training has been awesome this year. We've got such a good team, and training every day yeah, it's probably one of the things that's easy to like past. But honestly, this year I've just got to do every day I've been able to do what I love to do, which is basically just wake up, train with my team, eat good food, relax, and train again. That's pretty much my life. And yeah, the highs are obviously being able to go out there and compete with when there's a bit of pressure on and that sort of thing. But yeah, I love the process. Every day I get to wake up, I live the life that I truly want to live. So that's honestly that's what it's all about. But yeah, I'm looking to keep it going. I hope next year is even bigger, and then hopefully the year after is even bigger. I'm aiming for the stars. Sky's the
100%, man.
limit.
Do you feel do you feel deserving of the UFC Rookie of the Year for this year? Like, I know who's here, who else is there? Jalton Almeida is up there as well for he's had a pretty decent year, but I can't think of too many people that have come in this year and had a better year than yourself.
Oh yeah, I think so. I reckon I think I've got it in the bag, if I'm honest. I don't really care too much about it, but come on, three fights, three. I think I've had three fights. I've been in there for less than 8 minutes. I mean, you can look at that both ways. Like, am I deserving of it? I've been in there for probably 9 minutes or so, but yeah, I think so. I fought whoever they told me to fight. I went out there and I fought him, and I feel like I cleaned him up.
Is it hard? I mean, obviously, I've just given you praise there and setting that question up for you, but it's not just me. Like, you're getting praise from fighters and media members all over the point right now. Is it hard to not buy into your own hype? Like, everyone's, you can't think
Yeah,
that you're the person that everyone says you are, right?
yeah, for sure. Like at the end of the day, I'm gonna be fighting tougher people every time, and if I think that like I can just be happy with where I'm at now, I'm gonna go in there and get smashed by someone. So yeah, I've just got to keep doing what got me here and training hard, and I want to get better every day. I really do want to get better. I don't want to plateau. I just want to keep improving. So I think if as soon as you do start believing the hype, it can catch up to you. But then again, like I've like was actually the other day. I never got on Twitter, and I jumped on Twitter and I had a look, and you can just have a look through some of the comments, and then you realize that there's a lot of people that give you a lot of hype, but then there's a lot of people that doubt you. They say like he's rubbish, he's for nobody, and I respect it. So honestly, I want to prove those people wrong. I want to continue to prove those people wrong, and I am going to beat people in the top 15 next year, and then yeah, I'm going to keep cruising. But yeah, I'm not getting too caught up. I understand what got me here, and I'm going to keep on that.
Yeah, good man. Another big moment in 2022. You welcomed your son Franco to the world.
Yeah,
When was that? Was July this year, I think. How's the 4 or 5 months
yeah,
been
and
since then?
it's been awesome, man. To be honest, it's been like a real blessing. I didn't know that a lot of people were saying that it's going to be hard. You're not going to be able to sleep, but honestly, it's been incredible. Like the balance that like having a child brings to my life has really been a difference, like it's brought balance, like train hard, and then when I'm not training, I just relax with my family, which I think balance is so important. And for a lot of time there, I didn't really have much balance. It was just basically MMA was my like fighting was my whole life, but now I've got really it's the first time in my life I've got real like yeah balance in my life. It's been incredible. That's definitely outside of the fighting thing. That's been highlight of this year and highlight of my life really.
Yeah, you hear a lot of fighters sort of talking about what you just said, then sort of, and that a switch just flips inside their head once you have kids, your perspective on life and fighting changes, and you're fighting for something more than yourself and all the rest of it. So that holds true in your experience as well, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like the motivation of having someone else that really depends 100% on me is it's enough to like kick me up the butt when there's days where I don't really want to train. There's obviously you need rest, but those days you can when it's it's motivation to do something to improve the fight skills so I win fights because I'm a prize fighter at the end of the day, and winning is what pays majority of the bills. So I've got to keep it up, and big kick up the butt was my little man Franco, and also balance in my life. So it's just been honestly so far it's been 100% a positive experience.
Yeah, love to hear it, man. Love to hear it. Good to hear that you're not losing a whole heap of sleep as well. You said on the MMA hour that you didn't mind, you wouldn't mind if your child followed in your footsteps. I'm wondering now that he's here and you've had a chance to spend some time with him and do the whole dad thing. Has your mind changed at all? Like, would you mind Franco following your footsteps into the fighting business?
I don't know. I think about it a bit. Someday I would let him do whatever he wants to do. I would hate for him to feel any pressure about fighting because I know it's a rough business if you're not all in. But I don't know. I'll let him choose. But yeah, he's pretty small and innocent. I don't know if I'd want to see him ever make the walk, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll 100% I'll support him. And it'd probably be that'd be extreme. It's hard enough watching teammates and my brother do the walk to the cage. I could not imagine watching my son fight, but it's in his blood, that's for sure.
Mm. Speaking about teammates, I actually did want to touch on Jack Becker and his recovery process. He was in your corner for the Danny Roberts fight I saw. How's he travelling after that leg break of his early this year?
He's traveling good. He is on track to make a full recovery. He's very diligent in his recovery. He does everything right. So honestly, if anyone can come back from something like that, I have no doubt that he'll be able to. And yeah, I think I would. I think he'll definitely have a fight next year for sure. He's
Yeah,
already moving around. I think he's been cleared to do like boxing sort of thing, like footwork and do like boxing sort of training. He's doing a bit of drilling, grappling. So yeah, I think he'll be back in the new year for sure.
that's good to hear, man. It was devastating to see him go through that, dude.
Yeah, that was an insane experience. Never in a million years would you think you'd see that. You never in a million years think you'd see it on TV, let alone see it happen to like one of my closest teammates and a close friend. It was insane, but it goes to show it's a crazy sport and anything can happen. And yeah, he'll be
Yeah,
back though.
yeah, 100% he will. Somewhat related note here. So Conor McGregor obviously had a similar injury, and he's apparently got some sort of USADA exemption for his recovery, not being in the testing pool and all the rest of that at the moment. What's your take on that whole situation? Have you read much into it?
Nah, I haven't read too much into it. I don't really know. I have seen that sort of thing. I don't know what I mean. Like what the I don't know if is the exemption for the leg break or is it because he's
Mate, it's all over the place at the moment. USADA haven't come out and really said too much about it, so just relying on information from Connor. And yeah, I don't
yeah.
know. It seems it's all but confirmed at the moment. But where I was sort of going with that is, with Jack being going through something similar. What's your view on sort of performance enhancing drug assisted recovery and stuff for pretty debilitating injuries like that. Should there be some sort of exemption for that sort of stuff?
In my opinion, I think there should be. I think you for something like that, just for the well-being of the person, let alone the sport aside. I think if he was someone like Jack, oh yeah, for McGregor being in the testing pool, I mean, I feel like just for their recovery, they should be allowed to. If a doctor says this is what you need to take to make your leg 100% better, then I think then my opinion should be, yeah, let him go for it, you know. I guess it is sus when McGregor comes out and he's looking like a bodybuilder, but
Fucking gorilla,
good on
man.
him, you
Eh?
know.
He looks like the
Yeah,
SBG logo.
yeah, 100%. But I mean, yeah, I think it's like benefit. So at the end of the day, like he snapped his leg in half. Let the man take what he needs to
Mm.
take to get that leg 100% solid. And who doesn't love to see McGregor in there? So get him healthy and then get him a fight, I say.
Yeah, 100%, man.
As long as he takes it, yeah, as long as he takes a couple of tests, couple of months out, and he's not still running through his veins, then I reckon go ham.
Yeah. See, and it comes down to life after fighting as well at some point as well, right? Because that's an injury that you're probably going to
100%.
be dealing with in some form for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I remember when Anderson did it, right, and then after that he got popped for something, and then a lot of people were saying, "Oh, he might could have been." There was talk that it could be something to do with his leg, and then I thought, "Oh, yeah, it sort of makes sense." But
Mm.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I honestly something like that. I reckon. Yeah, as you say, for the benefit of life after fighting, let them make a full recovery. Give them a break from testing. Let them become human again. You know, let the leg
Mm.
fully work, and then take some tests and make sure they're not. But yeah, I'm not an expert on that sort of thing. So leave it
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
expert.
yeah. Nah, fair,
I
fair.
reckon
Right.
allow them to make the full recovery and then then start testing them again. Would be my
Yeah.
thoughts.
All right, we'll move on to 284 in Perth now, which I'm sure everyone is most keen to hear about. Now, post fight at Vegas 65, you said you'd take the first name the UFC throw at you. First up, have they thrown any names at you at this point?
Honestly, yes, I think there is there. I think the UFC. I have spoke to the matchmakers, and
Hmm.
they are going to be asking one guy this week who I'm pretty sure is going to say no, and then yeah, from there we'll probably work our way through. But yeah, the first person that accepts the fight, I'm in. I really want to fight on Perth. I will
Yeah.
100%. I'll be fighting. As long as my health is good, which it will be. I will be on that card. The UFC have said, yeah, we'll get you on the card no matter what. So
It'd be a
it'll be
real shame to not. I mean, it'd be silly not to, right?
it would be heartbreaking, man. It'd be heartbreaking to miss it in the backyard. I think there will be opportunities in the future, but after like the year I've had, everything's gone to plan so far. I think this would just really kickstart. It would really kickstart my year next year to be another awesome year.
Yeah. Back on that name, are there any hints? Can you give us any hints at all? Is he ranked? Is he unranked?
I'll give you one hint, which will probably give it away. He's Chinese.
So, okay. Can we
Chinese.
dig into that, or do you just want to leave it there? Because I've got some questions
No,
about that.
I think it's obvious we know who it is, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
we'll see if he takes
More,
it.
more.
I mean, it's a cool fight. Say
It's a great
yes.
fight. I think that's a fantastic fight for you at this point.
Yeah,
If it is who I think it is.
yeah.
Um. So okay, that falls. If that falls through, I mean, surely you've got an ideal opponent in mind for Perth. The one that you mentioned, that's a real good one. But if it was up to you, perfect world, who's standing opposite you at the RAC arena on Feb 12th?
If it was the perfect world, I'd probably say Sean Brady. If Lee says no, if Lee Jingliang says no, I want to fight Sean Brady. But then again, whoever, honestly, anyone. I know Sean Brady, he's up there in the top 15. So if he says no, I sort of makes, I get it. I fully understand why you wouldn't want to fight me in my hometown. But yeah, anyone, at that point, whoever's down to fight, I'm ready to go.
Is the offer of a home cooked meal still on the table for the person that comes over and gets dusted in the backyard?
Yeah, 100%. I will personally cook them the meal after the fight.
You're a good bloke, mate. Eh? Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Um, One thing I did wonder, and it's not just you, it's a lot of fighters, but I've always wondered why fighters don't make call outs post fight in the octagon. Like that to me, from an outsider, that seems like a bit of a missed opportunity. Can you enlighten me as to what goes into the thought process behind that?
I don't know. I haven't really. I don't know. To be honest, I don't want to say anyone else's name like after. I feel like that's sort of my opportunity. I want that. I don't really want to put anyone else's name out there.
Yeah,
Honestly,
no,
that's what I think. I don't really. Honestly, I'll fight anyone. So I don't really
yeah,
want to like beg and choose to fight anyone in particular. That's my thought process. Obviously, maybe when I'm in that top 10 and I've got my eyes on, say, the champion or someone that I really think is the next best opportunity, then I'll take it. But at this point, I don't want it to be, honestly, I don't want to be, I'm not a disrespectful person. I'm disrespectful in the cage, I'll be extremely disrespectful when the cage door closes, but I honestly don't want to disrespect anyone. That's my thoughts.
that's fair,
Until
and
it's
mate. Just
time.
goes back.
Until it's time, and then I will be as disrespectful as I need to be to get what I want.
It just goes back to you being a good bloke, mate. I don't think a bad word
Yeah,
comes out of your mouth, right?
that's it.
um, so you haven't had much trouble finding opponents in the UFC yet? Like they've been, throwing them
Not
at you pretty
no, to
well.
be honest, not really. It's been I've
Yeah,
sort of the schedule that I wanted was. I honestly wanted to try and get 4 fights in this year was my original goal. Had three, and like I was happy with three. I wasn't like I think the fourth fight. I think the birth of my son sort of changed that a little bit. Fought in June. My son was born in July. I wanted like at least a month or two just to spend time with him. But I was ready to go. Like if they did chuck a name in that space, I would have probably taken it. I wanted to fight in Madison Square Garden just because it's be legendary, but I ended up fighting a week later. So I guess the schedule was pretty cool. It worked out well. And then to fight in November and then to have Perth around the corner, it seemed at that point it'd be silly to take a fight before then just to get four in the year. So
yeah,
far it's been crazy. I wanted to fight. Yeah, pretty much the schedule that I wanted pretty much came almost to fruition.
perfect, man. You can't really ask for much more than that. We'll
Yeah,
talk about what talk about the card in general. Like obviously you've got Alex on home soil taking on Islam for the double champ status in the main event. What's the vibe been in Perth like since that fight was announced?
it's insane, man. To have a fight of that sort of caliber is incredible. To have it like right in my backyard, it's insane. Like on probably like that fight might be for the pound for pound number one title as well as both the belts. So it's literally the biggest fight of the year. I guess the start of the year, but it's the biggest fight you could probably make at this time, in my opinion. And then just to have so many Aussies on the card as well, I think it's honestly going to be electric in there. I think that stadium is going to go absolutely off with every single Aussie that's fighting. So
It's going to be chaos for the
yeah,
entire
it's not,
fucking. Oh,
it's going to be an early one, but I can imagine the Perth fans and the Australian fans that come over are going to get in early and they're going to be raring, ready to go. Some will probably still be going from the night before because it's so early. It's going to be
oh,
absolutely,
guaranteed, mate.
yeah, 100%. It's going to be insane.
Guaranteed. How many people have you had hit you up for tickets so far?
It's too many, too many, and they don't
Yeah,
get it that I'm not a ticket salesman. I'm a fighter, eh? I have no
you
idea
might be
about
the wrong
tickets.
person to ask.
I know I
Yeah,
might.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You might be the wrong person. You might be the wrong person to ask about this being a Perth native, but What's your take on the UFC opting for RAC Arena over, another stadium show, given that the last one at Marvel was a sellout and this one sold out in, well, a matter of minutes, I think.
I think for the atmosphere, I think you're better off having a smaller crowd. I think you could do it at you could do a big stadium show, but I think it takes away a little bit from it. I mean, everyone, I guess at that point, no one misses out on tickets, but for the atmosphere and the atmosphere in the building, I think having it in a smaller venue is going to be more electrifying. I've been in where is it? It's RAC. It's a pretty insane. There'll be 20,000 people in there, and
Yeah, right.
it's a pretty awesome. It's a pretty insane stadium to even watch like a basketball match. So they have had
You've
a
been there
UFC.
before, I'm assuming, yeah?
I'm sorry.
You've been there before, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I've never watched fights there, but I have watched. I think I've watched a basketball game there,
Yeah.
and it's insane. Like it's a real cool arena. I think I even the basketball game. I was one of the back seats, and I was thinking like if they had a fight in here, it would be you. I'd be able to see everything. So I think just for that alone, if you're in the back of us, if you're in the back of Optus Stadium, you'd be looking at. I think if it was in Optus Stadium, 80% of the people would be watching the TV. To be
Yeah, yeah.
honest, but
Uh,
in in that stadium, everyone's going to be watching the fight and watch it take place, like in the
nice,
flesh.
nice intimate setting, eh?
Yeah, I think it's better. People miss out, but that's just the way it is, isn't it?
That's it, man. Just a couple more from me before I let you go. Steve Urseg, I know that you and him trained together at some point. Do you have any word on his current status and if there's any chance we're going to see him at UFC 284?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. He is very good, and he's a very good guy. He's extremely good at fighting. So, well, yeah, I hope he does. I hope he does get in. He's one of the. I think he's honestly top 10 flyweights in the world right now.
Yep.
100%. So yeah, I think he will. Whether it's in 284 or at some point next year, he will be in the UFC, and I think he will climb the rankings pretty quick. I know he's good to
Yeah,
go. I
yeah.
know he's not injured. He's ready to go. So yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully he does get in there because what a place to debut in your backyard as well.
Yeah, 100%, man. I cannot wait to see what that bloke does next. It's always exciting.
Yeah, he's very good.
Um, so just a couple more. Renegotiated your deal with the UFC after the Ramzan Ameev fight. That's pretty unusual, being just your second fight in the company, yeah?
Yeah, pretty unusual,
Did
but
they
we
come to
made. I made.
you with Did they come to you with the offer, or was that something that your team initiated?
No, I sort of got Tim. Tim, my manager, he's pretty good. He's real good. I was after the what fight was it? Yeah, after the Ramazan one, I think he just well, I got a Tim's got a I've got a good relationship with Sean Shelby. Sean knows that I'm ready to go at any point in the year, and I think he knows that my style of fighting is fan friendly. So I think it was to be honest, the first contracts in the UFC are pretty. They're not great, as everyone knows.
12, is it 12 and 12?
I think they start at 10-10, and then they work up from there. So it's low, and everyone knows it's low. But yeah, I've got a good relationship with Sean. My fighting style is good, and they know I'm ready to go. So I think it was easy to increase that pretty quickly.
Yeah, good. I won't ask for numbers, but you're well taken care of then, I'm assuming, after those couple performances.
Yeah, I was definitely 100%. I was happy with the contract. It was a lot better than the initial one, and hopefully I can. I'm working on getting a new one going for the next one. I
Mate, another finish and undeniable. 100% undeniable at that point, right?
100%.
And look, mate, in a perfect world, again, when do you imagine yourself wearing that UFC welterweight strap? How long does it take?
I don't know. It really depends. I think just given the right opportunities, I think it can be quicker than. I think the opportunity given the opportunities if the opportunities present themselves, I reckon I could be in there soon. I think a big year next year. I wouldn't write it off the cards. Early 24 or maybe even late next year. But
Oh,
I'll be close.
champion by 2024.
That's what I'm gunning for. That's what I'm gunning for. Give me
Beautiful,
some of
mate.
the
Love
top
to hear it.
dudes, and then we can, reassess.
Who in that sort of top 10 space interests you the most? I mean, interestingly, I've seen your name thrown around with Jorge Masvidal's a little bit lately after
That's
that last
awesome. I've
performance.
been
Have
a
you have
yeah,
you
I've been a big Jorge Masvidal fan for a long time. And that'd be an honor. But he's the man. I don't like. I think give him some top guys, give him some big money fights. He's a legend of the sport. Don't think you're going to see him fight for a title again, in my opinion. But I hope he gets some big money fights. If I'm honest, if someone interests me, I
yeah,
think
that's
Shavkat Rakhmonov. I think he's a scary guy in the division. He's a very skillful guy. Yeah, he's a bit scary. I'm a little bit scared of him, so I want to fight him. Someone that gets the
that
heart
excites
rate
you, does it?
going. Yeah, 100%. Just I think the way he carries himself and the way he fights is I think he's a top. I think he's one of the best. I think you could put him in there with anybody in the division, top the champ. I think you put him in there with Leon, and I think he can handle himself very well. So yeah, hopefully, I want to fight him next year. That's to be honest, at some point, maybe after Perth. See, maybe after Perth, fight him would be ideal.
I'll tell you what, there's not too many people calling out his name
It's
in the
not,
division.
and I
He's
think
he's a
for good reason.
boogeyman, and
He's
he
just
flies under the radar as well, doesn't he?
like, yeah, exactly. He's a under the radar, as you say. He's a boogeyman. He's a scary guy, and yeah, that gets the blood going. That I can feel the adrenaline now just thinking about fighting him. So put me in there with him.
Love
I'm
it.
ready to go.
Absolutely love it, mate. Thank you very much for your time today, Jack. I really
Nah,
appreciate
pleasure.
you.
I'm glad it
Yeah,
got to
half an
happen.
hour is not bad.
Oh yeah.
Sweet. All right. Thank you very much, man. And we'll talk to you again soon. And
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Bless you,
enjoy
brother.
enjoy the
Cheers.
time before Perth, Ben. Thank
Thanks,
you.
man. Talk to you soon. Cheers, Chris.